Santo Tomás, ve para creer. Santo Tomás, ve para creer. Entre tres personas distintas, un solo Dios verdadero. Entre tres personas distintas, un solo Dios verdadero. Quien jura Dios, jura diablo. Quien jura Dios, jura diablo. Salam aleikum. Aleikum Bacuenden Sara, quien Zambia locutara con mucho más Jiménez, que buena sombra locutara con mucho más Jiménez. Y yo mismo tata besa en Zulo, besa en Toto. Carajo, yo mismo tiran vivo, sacan muerto. Bendiciones to all of you. Hope you guys having a blessed Tuesday. It's funny, yesterday I had a reading and the person was like asking me, I want to know if I have a walk and Palo. But I listened to the person talk for a little bit. And as soon as the person was talking, I knew this person had some knowledge. Because this person was using a lot of terminologies and understanding. Hey, salam alaikum, Jay Ortiz, que Zambia locutara, con mucho más Jiménez. And I was like, this person has some spiritual knowledge. So before I answer that question, uh, I asked her, let me ask you something. Do you practice anything? And she said yes. She practiced voodoo. So I'm like, so why are you trying to practice Palo? And she's like, because I need the understanding. And I was told that I had a spiritual walk and that I needed to get initiated, but I'm trying to get a second opinion. So I was like, okay, but you practice voodoo. So I started explaining to this person, and no disrespect to her, she's a wonderful follower. I was like, well, you do understand that it's the similar concept, except the style of doing things is different and the names of the energies is different, but at the end of the day, it's the same thing. You do understand that you were born with a spirit, and everybody is born with that spirit. That it doesn't matter what tradition you practice, at the end of the day, it's the same concept with different names and different style of working, different words. But the spirit itself is the one that's gonna guide you no matter. See, buying a title is just buying a title, doesn't make you spiritual. That is something that you are born with. That's a gift that you are born with. And everybody, yes, has a spirit, but the spirit itself has a different path. A doctor, a lawyer, a healer, a practitioner. Now, all the spirits are meant for you to practice this. Hey, bendiciones, Mario Rodríguez, que en Zambia tú locutara con mucho más Jiménez. And I'm trying to explain to this female, she's like, yes, but I was told that I have a path. I'm like, you're already walking in the path because you're already giving that spirit what it wants. Do they not work with the dead and voodoo? Yes. They do they not work with different energies? They're not an energy that they use a name that opens the road. The energy that works in the cemetery in different spirit. Yes. I'm like, then you're already working that spirit. And then I turned around and said, if I tell you that you do have a walk and that you got to get initiated, and then you're going to find out that you had it all the time, then you're going to say, I scammed you or I took advantage of you. See, and then that's the funny thing is you tell people the truth, but they're so stuck because this female was stuck that, she wanted to learn and didn't realize it that she was already practicing a style of working with the spirit, but in a different culture, a different understanding. And for you guys, some of you guys, it might not make sense at all. And I'm like, yo, you're practicing already, right? So in this tradition, they call it what? Papa Legba. In this other tradition, they call it another name. In this other tradition, they call it another name. And that tradition, they call it Barom Cindy, they call it Mama Bridget. And this tradition, we call it this, and that tradition, we call it that. Understand that you're already working the spirit. You're already giving that and Fumbenkano what you want, what it needs. And people are like, no, but no. She finally, it finally clicked. And she's like, oh my God, you're right. So I'm like, do you understand that there's people out there that will agree with you just to take your money away? And then they'll tell you you need this ceremony and you need this initiation to practice with this. And then they'll tell you you need this initiation. But if you really think about it, you're like, well, then why am I practicing with this? And in this tradition, they have this names. But now you're telling me that I have to go and pay another initiation just so the name changes and the style of working is different and the language and the words are different. Does it click? Does it make sense to you guys what I'm trying to say? And then they'll tell you after you went through that initiation, then you went to another land, and then you go to another land, and they'll tell you you need it to evolve in this stuff. And you're like, well, what are the names of those spirits there? The name of the spirit is this. I'm like, and then you have to think. Well, in this tradition that I first got initiated, it's the same thing with a different name, a different style of working, and almost a different little energy, a different language. God damn it! How many initiations do I need to work with the same shit, with the same freaking spirit that has a different name? How many initiations do I need to work with the same spirit? With the same energy of water, with the same energy of earth, with the same energy of fire, with the same energy of what you call it, air and spirituality. How many times do I have to prove myself and go and get the rights to work with it when I already got it the first time? And yes, and that's the sad part because a lot of people will take advantage of you and say no, right? And no disrespect to other believers, beliefs up there and everything, right? I'm not trying to put other people down. But there's some of that would take advantage of you, man. Damn. Well, it's like you got to initiate in voodoo and you got to initiate in palo. But am I not working with the spirits already? And don't they have a loa that represents death? Well, in palo they have an impungo that represents death. Aren't they from the same Bantu tradition? And there's people out there that they you know what a lot of the problem is? And I'm gonna tell you, a lot of people do it and go through all these initiations because they want to offer you something. What do you mean, Tata? They want to offer you something. They'll read you, and I'm gonna use an example, right? They'll read you with Santa Muerte, and they'll say, "Oh, Santa Muerte is saying that you have to go and initiate in Palo." Well, let me take my Santa Muerte hat and let me put my Tata hat. I'm also a Tata. I could initiate you in that. Oh, you need initiation into Orisha. Well, let me take my hat from Tata. Let me put my Orisha hat. I'm also an Orisha priest. I'm also a freaking Kimbanda, Umbanda, and I'm also satanic and all. And they have all this freaking arsenal. Meanwhile, they cannot explain to the person that is on the other side of the phone, take a freaking glass of water, call upon your spirit, light up a candle, and ask your spirit, ask for help for your spirit, right? So I don't understand, right? And I'm trying to explain this to the person, and it's like I'm like, am I explaining myself correct? Am I not? I understand that I think in Spanish and then translate it in English. Maybe my English is not very good looking, and I'm like, and I'm trying to tell her, understand that people are trying to take advantage of you because they think about what I just said. Yes, they're the similar energies Because if I'm going to say in pure English, I work with the wind. The energies that I'm working with now is the wind. But here comes another tradition, and they actually put a deity that represents the wind. If I tell you I'm going to work with fire, then they take a deity that represents the fire with a name, and now you're working through the deity with the fire. But originally, you're still working with fire. Uh, I mean, it makes sense to me. Or maybe I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, right? But it's simple. You have an arsenal thing, you have all this ceremony. But if you understand that spirit that you are born with, that is the one that is pushing you to learn something because it wants to continue educating, it wants to continue, let's use the word, evolving or upgrading. It wants you to go somewhere because that spirit itself already has the knowledge. All you have to do is awaken because you're in a state of sleep. You were reborn again, and that spirit is walking with you. All you need to do is open your eyes, open your conscience, and reawaken, and everything that the spirit knows will be within you. Does that make sense? Once you awaken, that knowledge is going to pour down because that spirit is going to feed you. Hey, remember you were once this, in another life you did this, and you have all the knowledge. And that's why a lot of times when you enter this moon and souls, and a Tata speaks, you like, oh shit, I knew that. I understood that. I knew that. But why? Because you already know it. It just needs to be awakened. It needs to be reawakened. So all the information starts pouring down. And that's why we say, when you're going to do an Insada, I could spend 3 hours with you telling you, do this dimanga, patipemba, right? Do this sigil, turn on this candle, do this with a candle, say a prayer, use this herb, use this, go get those dirts, go get this animal, use this carcass, use this bones. And you go up to the spirit and you're gonna divine with the spirit, and the spirit's like, hell no, motherfucker, all I want you to do is just get a fucking glass of water, put it in front of me, light up a candle, close your eyes, and tell me what you want to do. I spent 3 hours explaining to you all this to you, and the spirit's like, nope, I don't work that way. I just need you to put a glass of water and a candle and talk to me. And bonda, talk to me. Right? So that's all. It's simple. You know, some of you are here because you just saw a live. You have no business here. This does not pretend to you. I'm not trying to be disrespectful for you. If you have nothing to do with this, go bother someone else in another life. Is that simple, guys? I could just go myself, Gordon Finda, go sit down somewhere, relax under a tree, put my hand on the tree, get myself a cigar, and start in bonda. Right? I start talking. I start asking, just with the simple words that comes from here. I don't need to be in front of the Nganga because that spirit is always with me. Hey, Midnight Shaman, quien Zambia locutara con mucho más cimene to you too. It's common sense, but unfortunately, a lot of people are taken advantage of when they go, and it depends on the words that you use. I was told that I need initiation, and then when you tell them yes, you need initiation. I knew it. I knew it. That other tata told me. I knew it. Not all the time is that way. Not all the time. I rather you Don't even tell the person who's reading you what another tata told you. Let them confirm it without you telling them. You know, it's simple, very simple. But I'm glad that it finally clicked to her, and she was like, "Oh my God, I finally understand it." Because she was arguing with me the whole time, right? And I'm like, in my mind, I was like, shut the hell up, and just pay attention to what I'm trying to tell you. Open up, right? Aurikuto video, Bioko. Listen to what I'm saying. And it's finally it's like, oh my God, you are right. And she's like, and now she's saying, oh man, I got this, I got this, I got that, I got here, and this initiation, and this. I'm like, how much money have you spent? And when she told me the number, I was like, oh, I'm like, can I get some of that? Right? I was like, can I get some of that? um, there's people out there that are actually trying to save you, they're trying to help you to understand. And there's people out there too that no matter what you tell them, they still want that title. Because for a lot of people, it's like, well, I could make money in voodoo, I could make money in this, I could make money in Orisha, I could make money in Ifa. I just take my hat on, put the other hat, now I'm a priest in this. It's an investment so they could help in all different traditions. When if you're a Buddha priest, right, or if you're an Orisha priest, you can do the same thing. A Tata can do the same exact tratados and work some other spiritual people do with different understanding, different knowledge, in a different way, different words. Because the key word in this is knowledge. The knowledge is what matters, not what you practice. It's the knowledge. The knowledge that you were born with, the knowledge that and Fumbe is giving you that was born with you, right there. Thank you, J. Ortiz. Um, well, anyways, guys, just a quick video. That's all. It's just a quick video, giving you guys a little more information. If you do practice something and you're already practicing this style of tradition, master it. It's okay once you master a practice and you know how to explain it, you know how to teach it, you know how to work it. For you to say, you know what, I've been an Orisha priest for 15 years. I have enough knowledge. Probably I haven't mastered it, but I have enough knowledge that I think that now I have an interest in this, just to see how it works and stuff, to get an understanding. Then go for that. But there's people that every year they're getting a initiation to something because someone told them, and then you go into the room and they have an arsenal of things, right? It's like the freaking U.S. Department of War there. They got airplanes, they got they got airplanes, they got freaking missiles, they got freaking ships, they got tanks, they got everything. And here I'm running with a freaking glass of water. But anyways, guys, just a quick little story. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Um, Remember, you will also get tested in this practice. There are people out there that just want to test your knowledge. One day they wake up and they just start talking crap about you. If you put yourself at that level, then your vibration, the level of the vibration that your body is going through, is just gonna go down, 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 and down. It's better for you not to pay attention to those people, and you keep doing you, because only you will understand you. Only you walk in your path alone, because the path was meant for you. And if you decide, if you say, well, I know my path is gonna take me straight, and that's the best route. Once you start listening to these people and all that crap that they talk, then you tend to get off the path and deter, and then you'll find yourself making a huge U-turn to go back. That's it. Salam alaikum, alaikum bakwenden Sara, que Samia lo gutara, con mucho más